So hi guys, welcome to issue 3 of the Infinity Gauntlet. In this issue we're going to be doing the Time Stone. Now, done a little bit of looking around. I've looked at the whole pack, which is issues 3, 4, 5 and 6. We did get a pack of batteries with it, and I believe we're going to need the batteries in one of the issues. But I've also received the third pack, which is 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. That also came with a set of batteries, but I can't see, do you need any batteries in that issue? So what I've done is I've popped the batteries into that one, and I've put set, obviously I've got that set from last issue. I've got the batteries from this pack, so I've stolen the pack from pack 3. So either they were supposed to give us 2 packs of batteries and they forgot, so they made up for it by giving us one in pack 3, or they're just going to give us a pack of batteries every pack, whether we need them or not. I don't know, who knows. But anyway, look, this is the Time Stone, and we're going to be carrying on with a little bit more today. And I've had a little flick through the magazine. I think it's going to be a fun one. So welcome to issue 3. I've got the what we've done so far, but we're not going to need it this issue, and I don't think we're going to need it the next. But because I do batch film, I've got it ready for future issue. But these are the packs that we're going to, the parts we're going to use today, and we begin with part A10. I'm a little bit disappointed they don't name them, but I suppose, could you name them? You know, it would just be called Thingy Piece 1 and Thingy Piece 2, but this is piece A10. Again, distressed look, metal, nice. Piece 11 is kind of like a ring, but obviously with some shape in the middle. We've got piece A12, which is a half circle. We call that a half circle, horseshoe shape. Then we've got piece B03, which is the green Time Stone. So again, not much different from the other stones, except for the colour and the texture's a little bit different. Then we've got piece C03, which is this. I'm now going to call these battery holders, because this is where you put the batteries. And then we have Elec 03, which is another circuit board. Little switch on there, that switch works fine, and we've got the battery compartment there, exactly the same as this. In fact, let's, rather than keep picking up the whole gauntlet, let's pick that up. So this is obviously going to look something like this, but it's going to be that shaped, and my magazine's just had an avalanche. And then the rest of the parts are in a bag, so I can get rid of that. And we're still using screw 1, which I find, I've not seen a part work before that has the same screw throughout the whole build, but you know, it makes it easier for storing the spare parts because I can put them all in the same bags. That's me parts from the last issue, and disappointingly we're not using this in this issue either, so they still stay there. So we have 2 parts D3, which are these little covers so that the magnets aren't touching, and so it just weakens the magnet hole just a little bit. And then we've got D01, which is a battery cover. I think we can safely call that a battery cover. And then we have 17 or 19. Oh, we've got 2 springs, so we'll keep those safe. And then we've got 17 or 19 screws. You know me, I can't work this out. It says screws 1 times 17 plus 2, and I think that means there's 19 screws, but you need 17. So my wrist is going to be sore at the end of this build. Right, so It looks like this is going to go pretty much like the first two issues. We're going to start off with the electric piece. We're going to have this, it's kind of an egg shape, and with the little cutout bit at the bottom and the actual switch at the bottom, we're going to place that in there. Can you see we've got a lug there and there? Let me use the screwdriver. So we've got a lug there and a lug there and a screw hole there and there, and we're going to line the 4 holes up through. No, I've got that upside down, I do apologise. So with a switch at the top, and line up the battery compartment so it goes through. That's going to line up the 2 lugs there, there and there, and then we've got the 2 screw holes there, and that's going to go in with screw 101, sorry. And same as always, I'm going to pop the first screw in roughly halfway, just enough to grab. So now I'm in a position where if I tip it upside down, the circuit board's not going to fall out. Excuse me. And then the second screw can be driven in all the way. Remember not to over tighten because this is a circuit board. I've got a shadow coming from somewhere, not a shadow cat. I've got a shadow from the sun. The sun comes in from behind me in the evening. It's actually about 7 o'clock at the moment, and I'm very lucky in Scotland because now that I'm working in London and Scotland, did you know it actually gets darker in Scotland about half an hour later than London? I only found that out recently because I was in Scotland, it was getting dark, this is a month or so ago. It was getting dark about 10 o'clock, and then I went down to London and it was getting dark about 20 past 9, half past 9, and I didn't think anything of it because I just thought winter's coming in. And then I come back to Scotland and it was getting dark at like 9:45, 10 to 10, and I thought, well, that's strange, so it must be to where it is in relation to the equator. Right, so that part is in. The next part we want is A10 and also 2. Oh, I'm working it backwards. So we first of all need the springs, and we're going to place them, it looks like they're going there on those screw holes. I will double check that I've got that right. I'm absolutely positive that's where they go. They go in okay, look. They're in there quite secure, look. And then the actual time stone is going in, and I've got to work the orientation out on this. How is that going to go? I can't work this out. I think it's going to go right. It's got a double orientation, so it's quite useful. So you'll see this picture and this picture is the same but from a different angle. So let's see how, perhaps if I place it in here it will help me. That doesn't want to go in that way, so yes, it goes in that way. So then if we work out how that's going in there, which is top and which is so the A10 is right. So the circle from the battery cover, so the battery cover will be going on like that circle, and then that A10 there, it wants to be that way. So what I'm going to do, remove that because that's not being done yet. I'm going to turn that over like that. I'm going to turn that over like that. So by that logic, this is going in that way. Oh, I can't work this out. Right, let's go back to the second orientation. So we pop that in there, and then I'm going to be placing I think that needs to go, these springs, I think they need to go over this bit as well, but they're not going to go. So this is quite tricky. I think the only way I'm going to do it, oh no, that's not even right. Okay, that's not, that's not correct. That's why. So it looks like, right, I'm going to take the springs out. I think these two screw holes are lining up at these two holes there. That can't be right. No, they definitely do line up there. I've got this too low. Can you see I've got 3 screw holes, one there, there and there. They're going to line up with those 3 pegs. So this needs to go, I'm just doing a dry run without the screws, springs, so that's going in like that, which means, right, I've got it. So these 2 lugs, the springs are going to go on there like so, but the springs are going to rest against the 2 lugs on the stone. This is going to go in, so I don't know if you can see that. Where the pegs are aiming there, and you'll see that the spring is a little bit higher, and that's going to be quite awkward. I don't know if the springs have fallen off. I don't know if they're lined up. I think that's lined up. Yes, look, that's okay. Oh, that's quite tricky. So let's get one of these screws in as quickly as we can. Then I don't have to panic about letting go. Actually, I want to get, I want to get 2 screws in. There you go. I can let go, but I want to be careful. So the first screw is in just enough to bite. We get the second screw in. I'm doing this more by feel. But the second screw's in just enough to bite, and then we can drill this third. I use the wrong words, don't I? So this can go in all the way, and I really don't like this screwdriver. It is a basic screwdriver. It does the job, but where I've been buying myself better screwdrivers over the years, this is quite a nice. So I'm going to try this actually. Hope you guys don't mind. So much better. This is, I think this might have been a free one, but it's got a nice rubber handle. I do like the screwdrivers with the rotating end, but this is just a bit comfortable. Right, so that is in as it should be. That was quite awkward to do, wasn't it? But that's fine, that's in. So the next step, we want these DO3s, and they're going to go across there. Nothing that we haven't done before. So we'll pop, we've got this magnet issue again. Can you see though how strong that magnet is? So I'm just going to make a little guide with my thumb, and then that makes life so much easier. However, I anticipate that some of you might have short thumbnails, and you see mine's got some length to it, which is useful. But you know, whatever you do in life, there's advantages and disadvantages, isn't there? Right, that's going in all the way, and that's quite nice. So I'm not holding my breath, but I haven't had any issues with screws so far. Right, now this, I do have a bit of a problem. They glued this in, and there's a little bit of, let's say it, shall we, glue squidge. So I just need to remove some of that because it's getting in the way. I really need, oh there you go, no, that's come out fine. Can you see like that? That's gone, I've dropped, oh there it is. Just a little tiny bit of glue squidge, and that was just, I don't think you can see it. Yeah, it's fallen off. But that was just stopping that from going on nicely. So, oh, this has made me out of breath. Should part works make you out of breath, or am I just super unfit? There we go. I kind of forgot to stop, so I've almost put that one in all the way, but It doesn't matter if you put them in all the way. I just do them half and half because that's me. Right, so that one's in all the way, and this last one is now in fully. Lovely job, lovely. So next step, we need the batteries. So 3 batteries, which came with this pack. Remember that I've borrowed the pack of batteries from pack 3, not pack 2. So the plus side, which is the flat side, goes spring side down. These are a little bit awkward. You can get the first 2 in, as you can see I've got it switched on. And then the third one is the awkward one. I kind of push it in at the top, and then you've got to push the previous 2 batteries down against the force of the spring, and then that's in. Then you have a little quick mad panic because you think they're going to pop out, but they don't. And then you get your last screw, and we're just going to secure that battery cover. And although I have accidentally tested this by not switching it off when I put the stone in, we'll give it another little test. And camera's not really showing off the colour properly, but that is green. That is most definitely green. Right, so we pop that to one side. Next we need parts A11 and A12, and I've got to work out, so we want this side. We see we've got the A11 at the top, and then this is going to go in somehow. Can't figure this out. There we go. So it's either going to go that way, or it's got to go this way. You've got 3 screw holes, and you've got 3 screw holes. It's the only ones that there we go, that's in. So that lines up with that one, and then we'll just pop 3 screws in there. So let's go middle first. That seemed as good a place to start as any, and that's got a little bit of flash on it, so it was a little bit tricky to get the screw started, but once it was in, it's fine. That's not screwed in all the way, and that's quite tight. And then we'll go left and right, or right. Let's go right, because that's going to be easier. And that's driven in about halfway. You can drive them in all the way, but that's okay. And then we'll do the last one. Now this one will be driven in all the way, and then we'll work our way backwards, tightening the previous screws that we've only put in halfway, or just enough to hold. I'm going to go back to that screwdriver. There we go. Keep going till it's tight, because we are screwing metal into metal, so these want to go in quite tight. If you do struggle getting the screws in, you can always use, is it 5-in-1 oil, 6-in-1 oil, whatever it's called, bit of WD-40, anything like that, but I don't think it really needs it. I did go through a phase where I was using, it's like a chemical that you, or like a liquid you put on the screws, and it helps the screws glide in, and then once it dries it actually kind of glues the screws in. So that's all good stuff. Right, so we've got another stage to do. We need to place this piece, and I can see where that's going to go, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screw holes, and we've got 5 screw holes there. So this is either going to go in like that, which it isn't, or it's going to go in this side, and that looks really nice, doesn't it? Really, really nice. So 5 more screws to go. So we'll start with the top one, just enough to bite. That don't feel like it's going to bite. That did not want to go in. Why is that? Oh, yeah, that was just having a bit of trouble starting. fact, it's still not gone in. Okay. Right, that's gone in. If that hadn't gone in, it probably wouldn't have been the end of the world, because I tend to find, you know, so a piece like this, they probably could have got away with 3 screw holes, you know, but they've given us 5. So, you know, you've got that little bit extra security. There we go. That's probably why it didn't go in. I didn't clip it in enough. So yeah, if that screw didn't go in, I've still got the other 4, but it's gone in. So now I want to see if this goes in. Yes, it was because I didn't quite have the part in properly. I'm actually going to put this one in all the way, because I think, there we go, I think those 3 screw holes is enough on it. So I mean, this isn't going to be taking up much weight, is it? So it's not like it's holding it down firmly. Whew, again, this is a really good workout for me. That just shows how unfit I am. Right. Oh. Right, so let's get this first one in proper. Oh yeah, that's going in much better. Right, so then what we'll do is we will pop in the last 2 screws. They've given us 5, let's use 5. But yeah, certainly doesn't need 5 screws. I mean, this is probably more screws than my shelf bracket. Except my shelf bracket's got better screws. You wouldn't get away with these screws holding the shelf and then putting things on the shelf. Do you know what? My 2 cats have settled down. I'm very happy. I don't let them in this room very often, so it's like sending them to Alton Towers or something. They're like, yes, we're not here very often. Right, there we go. That's that piece done, and that is it. Now this, according to the picture, looks like it's going to go on the thumb. Once finished, the time stone is activated by pressing down on it. This will turn on the LED light. You now have the power of another infinity gem in your hand. So it looks like it's going to go roughly there. So now that gives you an idea of, look how big this is going to grow. That's incredible. So I'm going to call it a day on this particular issue. I will be doing some catch-up issues in the future, but I've had a little look at pack 3, and I think they're going to be the best places to do the catch-ups, because there's some very short issues. It's like, here's some parts, here's 3 screws, done. Right guys, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in another video.